Hello everyone, welcome back to another Commander review for Magic the Gathering. Today, we are talking about Sun Si, or Sun Ki. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that name, so let me know in the comments below. It is Young Conqueror, so I will refer to this card as the Young Conqueror. Now, the Young Conqueror is a legendary human soldier. It is a 3/3, and it costs 3 generic mana, 2 blue mana, and it has 2 abilities. The first is a keyword, Horsemanship. We all know what Horsemanship is by now. If this is the first of these videos you're watching, Horsemanship is this creature can't be blocked except by creatures with Horsemanship. When the Young Conqueror enters the battlefield, you may return target creature to its owner's hand. So this is a bounce commander, and I may need to click on the screen here. There we go. Alright, card rulings. We've talked about this many times. The rules definition for Horsemanship. It is its own form of evasion, so flying, reach, skulk, shadow, all those things don't interact with Horsemanship. It is its own form of evasion, and only Horsemanship can block it. A popular synergistic card, and I tried not to veer towards cards that potentially could have infinite combo potential, but Deadeye Navigator is a good card to synergize with this commander. As long as they're paired, you can, for 2 mana, flicker your commander and continually bounce things on the board, creatures specifically, but it could be your creatures to get synergy from them for casting them again or for when they leave the battlefield. It could be your opponent's creatures to kind of pressure and control the board, so that way your creatures are going to be able to get in combat damage, and your opponents are going to have to spend their turns playing their creatures over and over and over again. Now, with that said, I'm not a big fan of infinite combos, and Deadeye Navigator is a card that can go with many infinite combos as far as flickering, so be mindful of that. Your playgroup may not like infinite combos. I personally don't care for infinite combos, but it is a good card that synergizes with this commander. The deck that I am going to have this card in is, of course, it's got Horsemanship. It's unblockable, essentially. So it would be a great commander for a ninja deck in mono blue. All about getting ninjutsu going and getting my ninjas in to do cool combat damage tricks. A popular deck idea on EDH Rec is kind of this bounce value engine. It looked like there wasn't a whole lot of ideas going on, and so this kind of seemed like a fun, toolboxy, almost a step down, weaker version of a flicker deck, because you have to recast it because it's going back to your hand. But there could be advantages to that, there could be disadvantages. All in all, though, seems pretty fun. And then lastly was this weird, again, clone has kind of lately been my default for commanders right now as far as janky builds go, but a clone deck with this commander would be pretty fun, because if you have mirror gallery or things that remove the legend rule from play, or if you don't care about the legend rule and you're just gonna bounce everyone's stuff anyway, this would be a fun and interesting way to build an oppressive bounce commander deck, because you're gonna be constantly making token copies of your commander. When they come to play, you're going to have to choose which of them stays, because the legend rule currently applies. And but once that state-based action has been taken care of and you've sacrificed the legendary permanent that you need to, the ETB will still be in effect, because it did enter the battlefield. So you'll still be able to bounce your opponent's creatures off the board with this commander, even if you have to sacrifice it when making a clone, or sacrifice the clone. But there are ways to get around it. Spark Double gets rid of the legendary rule. Helm of the Host will make the tokens, and then you can copy the tokens with these other duplication spells. So it is doable deck, and it could be fun and oppressive. And that's going to do it for Sun Si, Young Conqueror. Unblockable bounce commander, which is pretty cool. Nice little twist on the unblockable portion of the Young Conqueror. However, it is unblockable, and on top of being unblockable, it is going to get targeted, because the other way that you can build any of these commanders is Voltron. They are unblockable, essentially, so they are big threats on the board, so your opponents will take care of them, especially if it's going to be bouncing their stuff off the board. So be prepared for that, have fun, be unblockable, be oppressive with the bouncing, or be toolbox engine-y with the bouncing, and let me know in the comments below if there's anything I missed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!